What's up, peeps? My name's Ian. I sell books on eBay, and today I can hardly move, man. Busy day, doing lots of things yesterday, including 3 pickups. So a couple hundred books in all, not massive, but some nice stuff in amongst it. But I didn't get any listing done yesterday. Well, I think I listed like 5 books, and it's just chocker, absolutely chocker. I was delighted to be able to move up into the wee box room to use as an office, but the amount of, I don't know, that's what I've got to get listed today. All of that and some more, and I've got plenty more scattered around still that I've not even brought up here to get listed. So I've got a load to be getting on with. Some good stuff in the pickups, a few individual books that are worth a few quid each, nothing crazy. Big pile of Scott Mariani, nice to get big bundles of all of the same, and some different, so 10 little series, so all your board books, get them listed up as a bundle. I've had a smaller bundle than that before and it sold really quickly for actually quite a good price. So that kind of thing was yesterday's pickup, and it's all good to go. But I've just got so much, it's kind of ever so slightly overwhelming, but I know where I'm at with it, although I have just spotted something that's slightly out of sync, so I need to grab it thinner to go with the other nice wee vintage Stephen King paperbacks I got yesterday. Got them to list. Let's see, the 10 little robots, big pile of Scott Mariani's. There was no, it's at the bottom of the pile to list, so I'm not going to show you it. You'll maybe see it if and when it sells. But talking yesterday about making sure you can go in and grab as much as you can. Keep doing it, you end up with this problem. So much to get listed, and not an awful lot of time in the day to do it. But it's a good problem to have. It's better to have too much than too little. Anywho, let's have a wee run through the orders. There's again not an awful lot going out today. I had a big box order which I had to get dropped off first thing this morning, so I can't show you it, but Rachel Kane, Morganville Vampires, books 1 to 15, nice bit lot. It went for about 47 quid for the 15 books, so that was quite nice. Unfortunately, it's the second time it has sold. It sold a couple of weeks ago, and the buyer had, well, something went wrong. I'm not blaming the buyer. Something went wrong and their full address didn't pull through on eBay, which I'm none the wiser to. It was supposed to say flat something at the start. It didn't. I posted it, not cheap to post because it's a big box of books, and it got returned to me, and they were insistent that I send it out to them again. I thought, no, I am not putting myself £15 in the hole in postage just on the off chance that they actually get it this time. Not happening. So I just refunded them, relisted it, and put an extra few quid on to cover my loss on that first sale, and it sold again very quickly. So off to the States this time, I think. So the GSP for me address is fine. Don't need to worry about anything beyond that. So it's been dropped off this morning. So that was a nice, decent sized sale to get the day going. But beyond that, again, it's been fairly slow. A couple £100 in orders in total yesterday, including that. So I've got the rest to show you just now. And I'm just trying to work out where I've actually stacked them all to do that. But first, we've got Amanda Sue Heller, 3 Amanda Sue Heller books. One of them's a hardcover, and the 3 of those went for a whopping £7.70. So that's buy 2 get 1 free. When I've had multi-author listings up, then typically 3 books would go for like £9.99. So it's a couple of quid less than that, but these are cheap paperbacks and hardcovers. They do not sell for an awful lot of money, and as long as that is going out in the same size parcel, small parcel, Royal Mail, ain't going to be Yodel or Every because it'll be too heavy for that, but that's still I'm going to make close to £1 a book on each of those. So it's not a big sale, but I'd rather sell 3 books together for a low price and make a wee bit more than just selling one of them on their own for like £3.80. I mean, it's the way it is. But yeah, those 3 going out first. £7.70. Next, we have The Art of Optical Illusions, Deceptions to Challenge the Eye and the Mind. There it is. What do you see? See, if you turned it upside down, it should look better, but it doesn't. So I don't think that's an optical illusion. It's just somebody who's drawn women walking through the water instead of the tree reflections. It's not an optical. It's not an optical illusion. It's not. Yeah, it's got lots of pictures like that in it. It's a lovely wee book actually. I do quite like it. So yeah, it's got themes throughout. But that sold for £8.99. So not bad. Repeat buyer, always good to see. And then we have a wee bundle of Lee Child. 5 Lee Child books for £13.74. Now I've noticed, obviously, once you start doing something, you start seeing the same thing. You know, you buy a new car and you think you're the only one on the road, and then every other car you see is the exact one that you've just bought. So since I have been doing this and talking about it, I have noticed there's a lot of more Lee Child listings that massively undercut my prices, which is absolutely fine. But I still keep selling them. So being the cheapest isn't always the only way to get stuff sold. You know, go with a price that works for you, that is going to provide you with the profit that you need to get out of it for the effort that you're putting in, and to obviously cover your expenses and all the rest of it, and stick with that price. If after a considerable period of time the stuff isn't selling, get rid of it and try something else. But there's no point going down and putting in an hour of effort to make £5 profit. That's just pointless. If you want to earn minimum wage, or that's even less than minimum wage, but if you want to earn minimum wage, you can go and work in a local shop or something and do it that way, and then you've got none of this hassle, you know, the wondering around about it. So always make sure that whatever your pricing is, it's going to cover what you need to get out of that particular sale at any given time. So 5 Lee Child books, including one by Andrew Child, who calls himself Grant when he's writing by himself, apparently, and say £13.74 for them. Then we have 20 random DVDs. Well, that's one of the listings I have up and running. Let's say I just pick 20 off the top of the pile, unless somebody's asked for, you know, a mix of specific genres where I'll dig a wee bit deeper. I ain't digging deep because I'm not going through several thousand DVDs to find 10 of something particular. If they're at the top, I'll take them rather than others, but otherwise they are what they are. £8.9 for that lot. It's usually £8.99 for 20, but it's a 10% off offer. I'm going to take it. It's £3.50 including packaging to get that posted. Couple of quid in fees. These cost me nothing. I mean, if there's 20 DVDs there, it maybe cost me 20p. You know, they're that cheap for that big lot that I got. So I'll make a couple of quid in them. Dead easy to pack up and send out. So all to the good. And that is heading international as well, actually. I'm guessing Ireland, but it's going international regardless. Next, for £10, 10 whole pounds, we've got Star Wars Galaxy of Fear by John Whitman. Just a wee paperback novel. Star Wars stuff, some of it's quite collectible, and you'll get a couple of quid for it, as shown there. Another international sale, heading to, I have no idea, it's going abroad, ain't staying in the UK, but 10 quid for that one. Rather nice. Another bundle. 6 books in this bundle actually. Where did I put them? Oh, here they are over here. We've got 6 Jenny Colgans, which I think is still under 2 kilos, which is nice, and they sold for £15.39. So, you know, what's that going to be? £1.50 to buy them, sell them for £15.39. Obviously your postage, your fees to come off of it, but even with all of that taken into account, it's a good profit. So these low value items, they can really add up and do you proud. Right, I have a DVD here somewhere, or a Blu-ray. What did I do with it? It's in the pile. Oh, I see it. There it is. Trainspotting, Blu-ray, Trainspotting, $4.99. So cheap to post again. Couple of quid profit in it. And yet another copy of Kato Ishiguro, Never Let Me Go. So I think that was the last one I had. I had 4 of them, and that's them all gone now. So yeah, £3.85 every time. So you know, not making big money, but there was 4 in that listing. All 4 have sold. If each of them's made me 50p, I've made a couple of quid off of that listing. So that's great for the effort it takes to, you know, stick that in an envelope, and off it wanders. Next we have Liz Pichon. 5 Liz Pichon books, Tom Gates. However, I've only got 2 in my hand here because the rest are in a pile over down there, which I can't get to until I've moved a few bits and pieces that I need to get listed. So I'll show you these 2. I'll tell you how much all 5 sold for, and then once I've done some of my listing, I'll be able to go in, grab the remainder and get them packed up to ship out today. But £13.99 for 5 Tom Gates books. There's a couple of hardcovers in amongst that, including Biscuit Bands and Very Big Plans. Top of the class is a paperback. Picked up a big stack of these the other day. Well, actually, a couple of big stacks over a couple of days. And they all sell reasonably well. Again, individually they're not big money, but if you know you can find something that consistently sells in bundles of 5 or whatever it is, and you're going to get £13.99 back on that 5, what is there to complain about? Again, kids books, so typically I pay even less for those. You know, 5 for £1, 7 for £1, 10 for £1, wherever they go. So you know, £1 in purchase price into that, £13.99 coming back. That's a good sale. I'm very happy with that. And then we have another bundle. Let's just get to the top end of this one. Sold for slightly less, but 5 Andy McNabb books, £11.94. So again, bread and butter. There's not many much in the way of steak and chips today. Got a lot of Andy McNabb books. They sell sporadically, but I keep picking them up because they do sell. So aim for good condition. You know, at the start I was picking up far too much, which was a bit tatty. I don't do that anymore. I only pick up, especially these proper low value ones, where they are in good nick. The individual books, I think I've got them listed for like £2.85 each, something like that. And it's buy 3 get 2 free, hence £11.94 for 5 of those. And the last one, Frida McFadden, The Housemaid's Secret. I was in a shop yesterday and talking to the manager, and they were saying they were looking for that book, and I knew I'd just picked it up a couple of days ago, and I said to them, I just got that in the first one. So you don't need the first one, but you want to read the second one. If I find the third one, I'll grab that for you too. I'll drop it in next week. And by the time I got home, it had sold. So apologies. I'll find another copy for you. But yeah, Housemaid's Secret, Frida McFadden. I think there's 3 in the series in total at the moment, and that sold for £5.99. So a nice wee sale, even though I've done somebody out of the promise that I made them. And that be the totality of our sale. So £166.26. eBay's telling me the total sale value that is. There's 11 orders, so it's going to be about 40 quid in postage. eBay fees are going to be about 50 quid. So maybe £70-80 profit back in for cash flow. Actual profit off of that does vary from that, because obviously I do have, you know, the VAT that I've spent on my postage and my fees will come back to me, but then I have to take off the cost of the goods, the cost of my packaging materials, getting them to the Royal Mail, you know, all of these things add up in as well. So I don't have it worked out to the exact penny for every single book that I sell, but I still work very much on the principle that it ends up being a third for eBay, a third for postage, and a third is profit back into the business. So it actually works out, it's about 40% of that would be my profit after eBay and postage. So that other 10% covers the cost of goods, the few pence that will cost to get all of these things packed up, and leaves me with about, you know, a third of that total, which is rolling profit as it goes. So that is all we have for you today on this not so sunny Friday in October. Hoping to have a good weekend. Say, if I get a lot of this listed, I won't get all of it listed, if I get a lot of this listed, that should give us a nice wee bump over the weekend, because there's, you know, if you list a lot of new stuff, there's always a certain proportion of that sells straight away. It's just how it seems to work. If you list a load of crap, that ain't going to happen. But if you're listing stuff that you know does have an opportunity to sell, then it will. I've got quite a few bundles I want to make up. Oh, here's one of them. Now, I've never heard of these. Are they Amazon books? They look like Amazon books. Yes. Amazon books. Island of Fog, Keith Robinson. So there's a series, and when I was picking stuff up yesterday, I found like 11 of them. And then digging further on into a box that I looked through the other day and had completely missed, I found the rest of the series. So there's like 12, 15. What's the biggest number we've got here? Oh, I've got 2 8s. I didn't realise that before. I looked at that one. Part 2 of a 2-part story, so that must be book 9. 11. There's 11 of them, with a couple of duplicates in amongst them. So I'll need to check and make sure I've got a full series there. But that'll be a nice wee set to make up. Individually, they're like £3 books. You know, there's really nothing special about them that way. But if you've got 10 of them and they're all £3 each, then it might be a nice wee £25-30 sale that could move quite fast. We'll have to wait and see. I say, never seen these before, but it's always good to try something new. You never know. Unfortunately, with those Amazon books, if you do find a series and a set that sell, it's good, you get good money, but that's usually because there's 0 print runs, because they get printed when they get sent out, so there's not many of them available. And if it's something that's got any kind of remote interest round about it, they'll sell really, really well. I found quite a few, but I never find them again. I will at some point, but they're really, 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 really rare. So it's great to find them, something to be on the lookout for. Potentially with these, I don't know, but other ones have been. But if and when you'll ever find them again, who's to say? Because you look at some of these things, and even though they might have been in the Amazon top seller list, 80 copies get sold. You know, I've sold my own books on Amazon, and I made it to number 13 in the horror charts for one of those titles, but I'd only sold like 20 copies. You know, so it really is a bit of an odd one, and I ain't selling my own books on eBay because that's just weird. Anywho, anything else from yesterday's big pickup that's convenient and close at hand that I can share and show? No, there's not. We've got DVDs. I did pick up a handful of DVDs, which is, there you go. If you find those two puppies together, you can get a £5 for the two of them, so you can pick them up for pennies. That's worth it. Sealed, like 80s and 90s movies. Again, go not bad. So not a £5, rather than it being a couple of quid if it was a pre-owned one. So when you see these ones, it can be worth picking them up on a chance. Maybe you may be able to scan them in the shop and see, I don't know. But it does, you know, for a 10p buy into £5, what's not to like about it? It's a very easy thing to list and do absolutely everything with. One that I picked up that I thought might have been quite good, movie books, I like them. Some of them are absolutely fantastic price wise, other ones not so much. This one's a not so much, I think £5 or £6 we can get for that. Rambo First Blood Part 2. First Blood, brilliant, brilliant. I've not read the book, I'll be honest. I don't think I've read the book, but the film is fantastic. And I then hated Rambo First Blood Part 2 because they kind of defeated the point of that first movie. In the first movie, he doesn't kill anyone. You know, somebody dies from falling out of a helicopter, spoilers, but other than that, he doesn't kill anyone. The whole point is that he's done his Vietnam thing, he's seen that death, he's seen that mayhem, he's inflicted it, he's experienced it on his, you know, his comrades, his friends, and he doesn't want to be it anymore, and he's fighting every single part of him, which is just his instinct is to kill and destroy. And the whole film is just him trying so damn hard not to do that, not to slip back in and become that monster. And then they bring this one out and they just turn him into an absolute beast. I mean, what does it say? The most violent man in the world is unleashed. Yeah, so I suppose that's just him tipping over and finally cracking and not being able to do it. But I thought it might be worth a few quid. It's in quite good nick, but it's not. It might end up one for the collection because I do like them. I say I grabbed Deliverance. Is it up there? No, I grabbed Deliverance not long ago. I might add that in because, let's say, I enjoyed the first one. The book might be better, but I've got a feeling the first one was a novel that was turned into a film. I think this is, yeah, from the screenplay, so it's a novel written from the film, the other way around. I have read the first one, seen the first one. In the book, again, spoiler, he doesn't make it. He dies. They changed that in the film, probably for the purpose of having sequels. But yeah, in the book, I don't think he survived. Anywho, just talking nonsense about Rambo, which is not a topic I thought I would be straying onto at any given point. Pick up lots of pretty books because you never know. £5, £6, you know, that's the kind of things. If they look nice and they're in really good condition, it can be worth grabbing them regardless, because you might get a few quid out of them. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to move some of this, get some of that listed, get those Liz Pichon books out, get everything packed up, wrapped up, and take it off to the Royal Mail parcel box. It will be by that time. And yeah, might see you tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye bye.